Hello, you are tuned into the law office of Don Dennis. Thanks for being here. Please, before I do anything else, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can always remain up to date on all the great content that comes out of this channel. As always, everything I say is rated R for real and not PG for playing any games. No attorney-client relationship has been formed with any viewer in my office unless there's a signed agreement on file. Today, I'm talking about the Roddy Ricch situation. Roddy Ricch is a world famous rapper, singer, and songwriter from Compton, California. He's made numerous hits, such as the one in the title, Ballin', and he's still ballin'. Yesterday, he was scheduled to perform at the Governor's Ball in New York. And on the way there, his car was pulled over at a check stop or a checkpoint, and it was randomly searched. And the police alleged they found a gun, a loaded gun, and some ammunition inside the car. So he was taken to jail, obviously arrested on weapons charges. Luckily, he was released the next day, and all the charges were dropped. You know, Fortunately, I've never been arrested, but I do remember once upon a time when I was 22 years old, I was just getting off of work after working like 20 hours in downtown Los Angeles for the corporation I was working for. And I was driving my Impala SS home. And as I was driving home, it's like 6 a.m. in the morning. And out of nowhere, the police or highway patrol pulled me over. So I'm by myself, I'm sitting in the car. And obviously, if you're not doing anything, you're not speeding, you want to know why were you pulled over? So I asked the officer, got no reply. He asked for my ID and proof of registration and insurance and said he'll be back. So I wait around and I wait around. Now, obviously, while you're sitting there, if you're innocent, you're annoyed because you want to get home and go on about your business. But at the same time, you're a little nervous because you have no idea, especially if you're Black, how things might turn out. At that time, we didn't have cell phone cameras and body cams that were mandatory or car dash cams. So it was just your word against an officer's word. So nevertheless, I'm sitting in the car, I'm waiting around, wondering what's going on. How long is this going to take? I can't get any answers. And after, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, the officer comes back and says, look, you were playing your music loud. Here's a noise ticket. Okay. I didn't spend time trying to argue with the officer. I didn't get out the car and berate the officer. I took the ticket and I left. At that time, the way it worked was you had to pay your ticket up front. So whatever the bail amount on the ticket, you have to pay it by a certain date or show up in court and try to fight it. However, you first had to pay it and then show up in court. And that would get a lot of people crossed up, especially a lot of people in South Central Los Angeles and other parts where I live, because maybe they didn't have the money. Fortunately, I had the money to pay it. And fortunately, I definitely had wanted to fight it. However, what does it mean when you're trying to fight a charge? Well, that means you have to pay the fine up front, as I just said, take time off from work. So if you have a very demanding job, now you have to put in some type of excuse or take vacation time to get off work to go to court. Wait around in court all day for them to call up your case and then determine whether or not the officer shows up and then fight the ticket. So for me, it did work out. The officer didn't show up. However, I had already paid the money. I had already wasted time from not being able to go to work, and I'm waiting around all day. And then I have to wait for whenever the court decides to refund my money that I paid. All of this is a no-win situation. In this situation with Roddy Ricch, he obviously was arrested. He was unable to perform as he was scheduled to perform at the Governor's Ball, and he had to go through getting booked. Likely he had got searched at the police station, and it was all a waste of time. Now, you may say, well, why does it matter? He got off. He's free. He was only in jail one day, or he was only detained for, maybe 24 hours. But who wants to be detained that long? If you have business and other dealings and transactions you're trying to handle? Do you really have time to spend time at jail? Do you want to spend time at jail and not being paid? In this situation, you are doing two bad things with your money at the same time. Two things: you're spending money and you're losing money. Most likely, he's having to spend money on attorneys or his attorney to come down and make sure everything's straight at the police station, make sure he gets all his belongings, make sure they say they're dropping the charges, they in fact do drop the charges. Also, he may have to spend money on public relations people to explain his side of the story, because the news could spin the story any way they want, especially if he's a rapper and they might want to make it disparage him or say, oh yes, he's guilty, or tell parts of the story or tell half truths. So you have to have someone advocating and working on your side to put out all the true information. And then at the same time, the other bad thing he's doing is he's losing money. If you have a scheduled performance, they may not pay you if you don't show up. Think about it. So you're spending money and you're losing money at the same time. And unfortunately, in society that we live, these are some realities that young people, especially young rappers and other entertainers, sometimes have to deal with. Look at all the times you've heard about Chris Brown, the police investigating him and things happening, and then everything goes to the wayside and charges are dropped in. And you can name a myriad of celebrities and other people where charges were alleged, they had to pay attorneys to defend them, and then the charges were dropped. So at this point, these are all allegations. We don't know if there was a gun in the car or ammunition. However, it doesn't matter. Once they put those bracelets on you and they take you down to the police station, you have to defend yourself. So what are some things you can do to kind of protect your business interests, protect your finances, and hopefully, to the best of your ability, avoid this? One, look into getting a police escort if you're a big name celebrity. Look into, definitely, you want to have an attorney on retainer, an attorney that you know you have a relationship with, you trust, and you can call in the event of an emergency like this. You want to have a public relations firm also at your beck and call, likely on retainer as well, that you can utilize if in fact things like this occur. Also, you could consider hiring, they said that there were some individuals in the car, and most likely these individuals were bodyguards or some security that he had. Sometimes you may have to go ahead and just get a recognized security company within whatever city you're going to that has maybe contacts with the police department, so they can let them know, hey, look, this is a celebrity, everything's on the up and up, we have our licenses to carry our guns, and there should be no problems. Or you can let the promoter or the venue where you're performing handle your transportation. So they transport you to and from the hotel and everywhere you go while you're in that city, so that you don't waste any time. Now, I am happy that he's out. I'm happy that he's still balling. I like his music. I like his hits. We all enjoy him. We hear him all the time. However, moving forward, there are lessons that he's learning, and there's lessons that we all can learn about how to protect ourselves. And I've learned lessons myself because I was that same age and I understand what it's like. But unless you've been in his shoes, unless you've had to deal with this, you really don't know. It's just a news story and you really don't understand. So we want to try to learn from this. We want to make sure we have an attorney available to protect our interests. And if you ever need any consultation, feel free to reach out to my office. And if my office can be of assistance, we're more than willing to do so. Again, this is Attorney Don Dennis. I thank you for watching this video. I ask that you please like and share it, because that's the biggest reward I can get, is a like and a share, and make sure that other people can benefit from this information. Have a great day, and I'll see you again.